The new CPD program. Hi, my name is Tom Rowley for Graduate Medicine. Well, interesting time. I've been hanging out on GP Down Under a little bit and just checking out the concern over the new CPD program. Actually went over to the RACGP site. Now, admittedly, it is over the holidays. They're not really open. Tried to open the plan and for whatever reason it didn't work. So one of the requirements is to actually have a plan. Now, my concern straight off the bat, as we have been covering over the last couple of episodes, is that plans are generally done very poorly. Now, this applies both to, say, enhanced primary care plans for our patients, but also generally patients, generally us as well. People. I don't know, what did you get taught for how to do a plan? And it wasn't until I got training around marketing that I began to understand what the plan actually requires. Now, it requires a couple of things, but if you don't know about this, then it's really easy to do what's obvious, which is I'm just going to set a plan for where I want to be. Now, the risk with this is that you've got no idea where you are, whether it's appropriate, and it might just sound good. But even if you do set a reasonable target, then the real work begins at that point. Just setting the goal doesn't really help that much. It's nice, it sets the direction, but without the actual steps to get there, it's probably just a nice piece of paper. And that's most likely what most doctors' plans are going to end up like. Now, you can check out more around this with a book called Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits was very clear in this. They were like, you know what? 19 out of 20 people will not hit their goals. 1 out of 20 will, and therefore that one person who hit their goals, clearly they did it because they hit their goals, totally ignoring the 19 who did not. He was like, you know what? It's not the goal that gets the person there. It's the goal that sets the direction, and then it's their ability to actually do the work. So it's going to be interesting to see what the RACGP's version of a plan is going to be. For me, I'm used to planning. I've been doing this a while, and the first step is to always work out where I am. What skill sets have I got now? Where am I weak? Where am I strong? And I think that this actual idea is going to be quite powerful if we embrace it. The hard thing is that it's feeling very forced. It's like, okay, this CPD stuff is being forced upon us, yet more change. Like, the last thing we really need right now in general practice is more change, but as usual, there is zero consultation. It's just forced upon us. No recognition that perhaps general practice is kind of struggling. And I think that is one of the big things that's actually coming up on the boards. If you go over GP Down Under, if you're a member of that, you can check it out. It's like, oh my goodness, what's this new thing? We just don't have that much capacity for more change, more change, more change right now. It's been brutal for like the last 3 years. And so this idea that we're going to get forced to do more things that we don't really want to do, even if it's beneficial, is actually a pretty difficult idea to internalize. If we can move beyond that though and say, all right, hang on, what are they trying to do here? Maybe this is actually a good idea. Then potentially this has some benefit. What I'm immediately taking from it is that this is going to be infinitely easier to take out week by week rather than the most likely scenario for at least someone like myself, which is leave it to the last month and go, oh my goodness, I got to do 50 hours of CPD in December. Now, as I said, it's concerning because right now, when I logged in on RACGP, I couldn't even do the plan. But nonetheless, the idea of taking out 2 hours a week is going to be far more effective than actually going through and trying to cram it at the end. Now, this is a yearly program as well, from my understanding. We don't even get the 3 years. It's not like you can chip away at it. It has to be done every year. So getting on top of this is actually quite important right now. If we're going to aim for that 2 hours a week, then starting now is the time to start. But my suspicion is that this has all been rushed, and whoever did design it didn't actually do it themselves. They've never been through it, probably not been tested. Maybe it has, but gee, I'd really like to speak to those doctors that spent last year testing this out. If you guys are out there, then let me know. What did you find? What worked? What didn't work? How much effort has gone into refining this system to go, yeah, you know what? This is not only a really good idea, we've got some evidence that it's going to be valuable, instead of just a tick the box and, yeah, okay, great, my CPD is done. So I think the number one takeaway out of this entire thing is, how do we as doctors reframe this thing that's been forced onto us to actually be a positive thing? And go, you know what? Okay, this is beneficial. If I can decide for myself that it's beneficial, then it's going to give me a whole lot better chance than kicking back against, don't tell me what to do, don't tell me what to do, don't tell me what to do. All right, that's my wife calling. That's all I got for you today. I hope you got some value out of this. Go check out previous episodes if you want to, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.